Nope.
Hello.
I don't know if the light's going to be a little awkward at first. Oh, don't fall. Ooh. Let me get out like that. I think that's better. No matter where I go, this light's awful.
It's your halo.
Yeah, well, she don't need to be shining so bright right now. That's a bit better. No. It's so weird too, trying to figure out where to go in regards to the camera because it's the true way. It's not reversed.
I know I always have the hardest time figuring out where the camera and how to work it.
Well, if we're ready, we can start, I guess.
Yeah, I'm excited. So I stopped off at a few of my Dollar Trees in my city and tried to see what blanks they had that I could use. I believe that last week I did show you a couple of wooden blanks that I had. Hey, Rika. Um, that I had got from Michael's last year during Black History Month. This wood blank here.
Okay.
But I also have circles. I have a heart that I picked up Valentine's Day. And then I went shopping in my own stash and I found a whole pack of 8x10 canvas panels that I didn't realize that I had. So there's 5 of them in here. So I think I'm set.
Yeah, you're set.
You know how we do. I do it one time and then I do it 5 million more. So
it's good that you have enough. It's good you have enough blanks out there to play around with.
Right. And then I picked up this little small 3-pack of flat canvas from Dollar Tree.
Okay.
Or $1.25 Tree.
So if you're ready, then I'll just flip my camera around and we can get started.
Surely. Before we do that, thank you to everybody who is here.
Yes.
I see some people here. If you can drop down and say hi in the chat just so we can know who you are, that would be wonderful. If you're shy and you don't feel comfortable doing that, that's okay too. But make sure that you like, subscribe to the channel, that you have your notification bell on, and that you are sharing with your crafty friends.
Yes, please.
And tonight we're going to be doing paint pouring. Tara's going to be leading this one. So I am a eager student. I'm going to turn this camera off and then flip to my other one too so I can follow along with your instructions.
Okay, so I'm just going to flip my camera over and show you everything that I have. So give me a few seconds also.
Sure.
So it says camera. Oh, wait.
Hey, Jacqueline, in Michigan. All right. I am in California and Tara is in Canada.
Yes, I'm in Quebec.
I let her say the city name because she says it much different than what I say. She says it the right way.
I live in the province of Quebec in Canada. Here we go. There we go. I figured it out. Yay. So give me a second. I'm going to put you guys on the mount.
Cool. I'm excited about tonight.
Let me see. Put that back. Wait, why are you twisting, bud? There we go. Give me a second. And I'll figure this out. There we go. Put my camera.
So most of the supplies that I'm going to be using tonight while she finishes getting her camera set up, I got from Dollar Tree. If I didn't get it from Dollar Tree, you can get it from Dollar Tree. I probably just picked it up from somewhere else because of whatever the price was. So you can use canvas panels, you can use the stretch canvas ones, you can use wood, ceramic tiles. There's a bunch of different mediums, not mediums, but a bunch of different blanks that you can use. So this says Master's Touch. So that's Hobby Lobby brand, I believe.
Yeah, I just buy whatever. I use the flat canvases. I use the canvas that's pulled. I'll do it on wood. I'll do wherever I possibly will use whatever I possibly have around me. You can even do it on a thicker cardstock, or you can pour into a container and then dip your cardstock in there to make your own backgrounds. You can do them on tiles, coffee mugs, whatever it is that you want to pour on. Sorry, I need to plug in my ring light, but it's not enough light. Oh, let's see here. Oh, wrong color. This color.
Um, you can even find acrylic paints at Dollar Tree out here as well. So I have some acrylic paints, some that I picked up from like various craft stores, but some that I just picked up right from Dollar Tree. You want to make sure that it's acrylic paint and not the tempera paint because I believe the tempera paint you can wash off or something.
Also, yeah, well, acrylic paint and tempera paint are very similar, that they're water-based paints, but the tempera paint, yeah, is more washable, and you can still use it because you can just seal it after and it won't go anywhere.
Oh, okay.
But I
Is it going to
I
be as
use,
saturated in the color?
yeah, it won't be as nice.
Right. Okay.
So, but I'm using the Deco Art acrylic paint, and I get mine from Dollarama.
Okay.
So it's basically the equivalent of your Dollar Tree.
Yep.
So can you see everything? Is it fine for you over there?
Yep. I can see.
Because I can't see what you guys are seeing, and I gotta find you on YouTube so at least I can see what I'm doing. So the supplies that were needed for tonight was the acrylic paint, anything to pour on. I'm using these plastic cups to put my paint in. Let me just find you here. Stir sticks. So a few stir sticks to stir my paint. And the reason why I have the stir sticks to stir paint, because a lot of times when you have the acrylic paint fresh out of the bottle, it's somewhat thick and you need to have more of a fluid consistency. So it's good to mix it with a few drops of water. Let's see if I can find you. What else is there? I'm using
IKEA.
I use an aluminum tray to do my pouring in, and then I have a plastic tablecloth on the actual table I'm using. So it's very basic and inexpensive supplies. I am using canvases that are, I believe these are 5x7. Yes, 5x7. I get 3 in a pack at the Dollarama for $1.25 or $1.50. And yeah, so these small ones that I do will end up in a picture frame, and then on the glass itself, oh, you can actually do acrylic paint pouring on the glass of a picture frame and then reframe it, but the paint part would be on the back. You wouldn't have the paint on the front of your picture. It would be on the back. So that way it's basically quote unquote sealed because the glass itself would be protecting your paint, and they look pretty nice in a frame. So there's many different things to do. So I found you here.
So I have one question before you begin, Tara.
Yep, go for it.
At our Dollar Tree, our $1.25 store, they sell something that's called pouring medium.
Yes, you can use that.
So would this be in lieu of adding water?
Yes. So what I do also is so your pouring medium, I do have some somewhere, I just can't remember where I put it, is to help with the fluidity of your paint. So yes, in lieu of water, but it also depending on what pouring medium that you have, you can make these things called cells. It's basically where
Oh,
the
okay.
paint itself doesn't really sit within each other because it's water-based paint. It's almost like the effect of having oil and water. So they get
Oh,
these things called fish, not fish, cells, like fish eyes, but we call them cells. But I also use silicone. Let me see if I can find my silicone bottle. Um, so this is for acrylic pouring. It's called acrylic Demco, and it's a silicone oil. And you can put
okay.
that in your paint also. I also use WD-40, a few squirts. If you're
Oh,
using
okay.
If you use, yeah, because what you want to do is because the paint itself is water-based, you want to make sure that when you're pouring the paint on each other, if you want to get a specific effect to it, like I said with the cells, you want to make sure that the paint's not going to mix. So with the silicone, it's basically oil. So whatever paint that you mix the oil in will not mix with the other colors. They'll basically sit on top of each other. So you're not going to
Right.
put the silicone or the pouring medium, well, the pouring medium you can put in every color because, like I said, it's basically to thin out your paint. But if you're going to use anything like, we can use white glue. You can use dish soap, preferably the Dawn dish soap, which is the best one. What else can you use? Like I said, the WD-40 or any oil, even a little bit of baby oil. You will not put in every single color because it defeats the purpose of them not melding together. Because if everything has the same base, it's just going to meld together. So you want to keep some of them just water based and some of them mixed with the oil. I'll try to do one
Right.
tonight. Maybe
Okay.
my last one I'll add a bit of the silicone just to see. Let's see
So
here.
if you
So
guys have a local Dollar Tree in your area, see if they have pouring medium in the section that has the paints.
I'm trying to see if
These
I
are
have
like
one that
the Dollar
sells.
Tree brand paints, these little acrylic paints here.
If you give
All
me a
right.
second, I'll get one of my paintings that has cells. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. And the little cups I'm going to be using, I just picked up from Dollar Tree. These are like the mouthwash little cups. Probably should have got some bigger ones, but they'll work for now, as well as my stir sticks. So I'm going to move this stuff over to my other table. And what I did is I just bought a plastic tablecloth from the party section at Dollar Tree, and I've covered my table with that. I didn't want to buy a whole bunch of pans, so I'm going to do that and let it just sit on the table and dry. And then when it's dry, tomorrow I'll come in and I'll just fold that tablecloth up and just throw it out in the garbage. I also have some glitters and some mica powders. So some different Pearl X mica powders. I'm thinking maybe I could add that to some white paint to create some more iridescent light colors. So we're really just going to experiment and see how it goes. I was trying to see because I just bought a brand new bottle of white acrylic paint and I have no idea where it is. So I'm going to have to locate that. Has to be around here somewhere. Probably, knowing me, it probably fell on the floor and I just never picked it up. So where is everybody from that's here tonight?
I'm back. Okay, so let me see here.
Okay.
So
Lowe's or Home Depot. Okay, thank you, Rika.
if you can see the painting here, the little circles here are cells because I put oil,
Uh-huh.
and so it doesn't mix with the other paint. So you get these little things here called cells,
Okay.
and that's what the oil does.
Cool. And that one has a lot of texture to it. Did you add something else in the paint?
No, it was old paint, so it was chunky paint,
Oh, okay.
which doesn't bother me because I'm gonna turn that into a mixed medium so I can put other things on them. Here's another one that I did.
Cute.
So like down here is cells. You can see like the paint that didn't mix in. And then some of the paintings, I had them facing each other, so some of them got ruined, and it doesn't bother me if they get ruined because I'll just turn them into mixed media. Like this one here, the paint was too thick. So once your paint dries, you get these cracks, which I'm perfectly fine with because for me, it gives it character.
Yeah, it gives it a totally different look.
Yeah.
So we have another person here tonight that's from Quebec.
Oh,
I
wait.
cannot pronounce the name. Kanawaki.
Oh, Ganasatake, Kanawaki. Yeah, it's one of our reserves. Wait, let me
Oh,
see.
okay. Hi, Darlene. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, it's Darlene. I was just on with her because Friday nights we have a little group on Friday, which I've been missing quite often, but we get together just to chat and craft. So we were doing that at 7:30. And then she asked me what the channel was, so I told her. Thank you,
Oh,
Darlene.
okay.
Yeah,
Thank
she's
you
not
for
that far
coming
from me.
over.
Yeah, she's on she's on the island. It's another island from where I am. Because I told you Montreal is an island. So she's the next island from where I am in regards to heading east. All right,
Cool.
so now we have everything. You have all your stuff set up?
I do. So I'm just going to switch my camera over now that you're already switched over.
Yes, perfect.
Turn my volume down first.
So let me bring the camera up a little bit so you guys can. So I have all my paints together here. I'm using the primary colors, which are red over here, yellow, black, blue, and then I have black and white. Wait, something happened with my camera. There we go. Then I have the black and the white. On my other tray here is where I'm going to set up my canvases to dry. And so what I do is I always keep the plastic cup upside down so that way I can put the canvas on it. Same thing here. I have an upside down cup to put my canvas. You don't want to have your canvas flat in your container because as the paint pours, it would end up sticking to your tray. So you always want to make sure that you have something underneath. And you can if I use a bigger canvas, I have 2 cups. I'm using a small aluminum tray, like I said, just to catch all the spillage and just to show you, this is from previous paint pour. Now, if this was a plastic container, it'd be perfect because this is called the skin or the runoff. If it was on a plastic container, I'd be able to peel all this off. But this is basically stuck to the aluminum. Oh, no, wait. Ooh, wait, bonus. I can probably get it off. So what we do with these pieces, which I prefer on plastic because it doesn't break as much, is, let me see if I can pull up a piece. If I can get a bigger piece off, I can put them in a bevel for a necklace, like a charm, and then you can add your UV resin and it becomes part of jewelry. And as you saw, it comes off, I guess, off the aluminum. I'm usually using a plastic container. And I can just peel off at one piece and I use my scissors and I cut the pieces that I want. But I couldn't find my plastic container, so I use the aluminum ones. So once again, put a cup or anything that you can just to rest your piece that you're going to pour on. And what I do too is I mix my paint, and you want your paint to be fluid. Not the consistency of water, but also a little bit thinner than what it is when it comes out of the bottle. So I don't know if you see how it pours a little bit? So it's moving fluidly. It wasn't doing that the minute I squeezed it out of the bottle. It was a little bit thicker. So what you would do is you would just put drops at a time in your paint. And as you can see, it's very fluid. And that's what you want. You don't want it too thick because it's not going to move on your canvas properly. And then you don't want it water thin because your canvas, or basically whatever you're using, is just going to suck up the water or suck up the paint, and it's not going to mix together and it's not going to flow.
Can you hear me?
You'll get it as you're playing around with it.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you.
Okay. Is there a method to do you put lighter colors down first, or is it just whatever you feel like?
Whatever you feel like doing, there's no wrong way. And another thing too, there's so many techniques to doing this. So what I like to do is I take 1 cup and I pour paint colors in that 1 cup in layers. So I'll do that first. What some people do is that they will actually pour the paint on their canvas in layers. So say, for example, if I'm using the blue, yellow, and red, I put like blue first, then yellow on top of that, then red on top of that, and just keep on repeating that. You can do it that way too and move it around. I do it in the cup that way. And then I either pour it or what we call a dirty pour. I'll put the canvas upside down on the cup and then flip it and then lift up the cup and just let it run. There's just so many techniques. When I have a bigger canvas, I like to use my bigger plastic container and I'll do my big canvas, be it like a 11 by 16 or whatever, and I'll put it on the Lazy Susan and spin it. That's nice. That's fun. Or you can actually put a strainer on your canvas first and then pour your paint on the canvas and let it run through the holes. There's just so many different things you can do with paint pouring. There's no wrong way of doing it. So for the sake of this, what I like to do too is I always like to put a base of white or black, depending on what I'm looking for. Um, just a very thin base of paint because when I pour my paint on it, at least it has something already there to run through. So I'm just going to show you that. Just a very, very, very small amount. And I'll just use my fingers to move it around. You can use a paintbrush, you can use your fingers, you can wear gloves, don't wear gloves. I'm a messy painter. And so I like to, and like I said, I'm just putting a very thin layer just to give the paint something to run through when I pour it. And so like what I like to do when I'm doing the lives is I will do layers of paint in one cup and then I'll pour it, hence the word paint pouring. But then you have like the one I told you about putting the canvas upside down on your cup and then flipping it. That's a flip pour. You have a dirty pour where you just pour out the paint from the cup and let the colors go. You will never get the same canvas twice, no matter if you're using the exact same measured amount of paint and you're pouring them in. Like you'll never get the same canvas twice, ever, unless you're gonna scan them and print them. That's the only way to get duplicates.
I don't know if mine is thin enough, but
So you'll play around with it. It took me a while to get the right consistency. And it also depends on what medium, what base you're doing it on. If you're doing it on wood, you may want it to be slightly thicker than you want on a canvas because the wood is not as porous as a canvas.
right.
So you will know by ear. And also the temperature of where you are affects your paint, affects the dry time. So there's all these different factors. And that's another reason why I say like paint pouring, you can't really go wrong with it. So I'm going to move that out of the way and I'm going to show you guys the colors I'm going to use. So right here is my cup. So for example, I'm going to do red. Because my canvas is only a 5x7, I don't have to use a lot of paint. Again, you will know as you play around how much paint you're going to need. I'm going to do a bit of blue. And you see, I'm not worried about where the paint is falling. In between the red and the blue, I'm going to put a little bit of white just to break up the color. And then I'll do a bit of red again. And this time I'll add yellow. And for those of you who know how the color wheel works, a lot of times when you're mixing the colors, so for example, I put the red on top of the blue, I might get purple. I put the yellow on top of the red, I might get some orange. I threw some black in there. I have no idea what this painting is going to look like when I pour it. Put some white in there. You just have fun with it. And then what I like to do is, where'd my skewer go? See, I didn't need a lot of paint because I'm doing the 5x7, but I take my skewer after and I just go up and down. So just to make it somewhat mixed, isn't that pretty? So there you go. Isn't that nice? So I'm going to move my canvas back to the center so you guys can see her. And then I have to move the camera up just a little bit more. Here we are. And I'm going to, so you guys have a better angle. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go from the one side to the other. So look how the paint's coming out. Can you see the colors? Everything's so pretty. Mm-hmm. See, so I got green in there because I put the yellow with the blue. And so I'm just pouring it.
I'm just gonna wing it.
Yeah, but that's all you have to do. Just put your colors, and then now I'm going to move it around. And that's all there is to it.
So what's the effect if you um do the colors one at a time?
You mean pouring them directly on your canvas?
Yeah.
The effect is whatever it is once you start moving the canvas around. Because you
Oh,
have to
okay.
see how I'm moving the canvas? You have to pick up the canvas and move it around. The colors are not going to move by themselves. Hence the reason why like I like to use a lazy Susan too.
Hmm.
But I don't you can't see the camera, right? Because you're facing the other way.
I can see it.
Okay, so you see how she's moving?
Uh-huh. I'm gonna move mine down just a little bit more though, so I can see better. I'm
And there's
looking
one.
up and over. So let me move mine.
For some reason my blue disappeared. I don't know where the blue went, but
I just turned my light as well. So let's see. I have some small stir sticks.
and then what I do is I touch the corners like, or the edges with your finger. The minute you touch something, the paint will automatically go towards it. But there you go. There's one of them. I want to move it a bit more, so I'm just going to.
I'm just putting a little bit of mica powder in mine to see if I can
Yeah,
change the color up some. May
go for it.
work, may not. Just winging it.
So I need ends that I'm seeing that there's white. I'm actually just dabbing. I'm not dragging the paint. I'm just touching, and the paint will actually connect by itself. But there you go. There's one of them. What do you guys think of that one? I'm gonna try to look over at the comments without dropping her.
That's cute.
I like her. It reminds me somewhat of a geode.
Darlene says that Michelle says the paper she sprayed earlier is dry already.
She's one of the other ladies I was on earlier with. It dried that fast? Wow. She was using mixed media paper and spraying it down. She does oh, what are the books called? I can't remember oh, she was doing different designs in a craft book. Can't remember what you guys call that.
Scrapbook?
No, it's like a mixed media book. It was beautiful what she was doing. Wait, I'm trying not to get paint on every single thing I own. Let me see if I can see the comments. Oh no, so she's in the chat. No, she's in our messenger chat. Oh, my fingers are. This is one of the best parts about paint pouring is you get dirty. I love it.
Okay. I don't think that I'm doing such a great job
No,
with
no, no,
this.
you're fine. No, no, add your rest of your colors. Just
What
keep
rest
on
of
adding colors.
all I'm doing is getting dirty over here.
It's fine. I'll do one like how you're doing it too. Okay, I'll do one where you're just pouring the paint on it and show you. And you can add some white in between. You can add whatever. I just have to put another pack. You're not doing it wrong. Don't worry. Just don't move it around until you have all your colors on there.
Okay.
I'll open up another pack and I'll do the same way that you're doing it and show you that you can't go wrong with this. And a bonus about this too, if you don't like it, you can just wipe off the paint before it dries.
Oh, neat.
Just wipe off the paint and reuse the same canvas. What I'll do is if I don't like a certain design, I will wipe it off. I'll let it dry. I'll put a white coat and then redo it, which very rarely ever happens because like I said, I'll just throw some paper flowers on it or some sand or whatever else I'm going to turn it into. So
Well,
I'll do
that and I
one.
think my paint is kind of old too.
So did you add water to it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
So
bringing it back. It's just that doesn't.
I'm going to do like what you're doing, and I'm just going to add the color directly onto the canvas, not in the cup. in random spots.
I'm making a mess.
That's the whole point of this. Get dirty.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
isn't
glad
your channel
I got
called?
this tablecloth.
Isn't your channel called the Crafty Mess? So
Yes, yes.
there you go. You're living up to the name. So see, I did exactly what you did. I just poured my paint on there, and I'm going to play around with it. Just have it move around.
Okay. One more color I'm gonna add.
But I'm also going to take my stir stick, and I'm going to drag some of the colors through. So you can take a stir stick and drag your colors through.
Uh-oh. I think I made this one too watery.
So add more paint. Ooh, I'm liking this one a lot. Like a lot, a lot.
Okay, so now I just move it around.
Yeah, just slide around till you get the paint on all four corners. I'm liking this one a lot. No, this one ain't going nowhere. This is mine. Mama likey. She's so pretty. Come on, just go to the corner, baby. Go to the corner. Now we don't talk about the back of the painting because that thing's nasty after. But you can put cardstock on it, or if you're mounting it on something, you'll never see the back. So don't worry about the back. But the back is messy, messy. Oh wow, that's beautiful. Did I just touch my camera? Y'all, I think I just put my head in paint. Go here.
Not bad, I guess.
It's beautiful. What colors did you use? I see purple, pink, black, and is that yellow or gold?
Well, it was white, and then I added some gold mica powder to it.
Beautiful. Oh, I'm loving this one. That's when the baby wipes come in handy. I just keep a roll of toilet paper next to me. All right. So you guys, you see how simple it is? It's not rocket science. It's not something to get stressed over. You have fun. If you have minis, it's one of the best rainy day crafts to do. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And the way the colors here mix together. And here, and I got a bit of green because of the
See,
yellow.
look at me messing stuff up,
It's nice.
trying to be fancy.
I got green. I got green here because of the
Trying
yellow
to
and
be
blue.
fancy.
I got a bit of orange here because of the yellow and the red got together. I'm loving she. I gotta see if
Okay,
I can put
so
this. Down. Trying to put that one down without wrecking up the other one. Please don't fall. think we're good. I just gotta check, make sure I got no paint in my hair.
Okay, so I just tapped some glitter all over mine, and then I'm moving it around a little bit. Again, I don't know if you guys can see the glitter
It's beautiful though.
in mine.
You like
Touch
it?
the sides. I do. I do.
And you see
Touch
how
the,
simple it is? And see how cheap it is to make it?
yeah, and I didn't have to buy anything. I had most of this stuff already.
Okay.
So I picked up, like I said, a couple of the small canvases,
Mm-hmm.
but these canvases were in my stash.
Okay.
And then those wood pieces were in my stash as well. So I'm going to move this over here.
And now you can see how it becomes very addictive too, because it's so simple to do.
Right, and fast. That was fast.
Yeah, and there's really no thinking to it. The only thinking you have to think about is what colors you want to use.
Right. So the hardest part is just figuring out the colors and being patient and waiting for it to dry.
Oh, it's you can dry them fast with a heat gun.
It's like a heat gun.
Yeah, just don't make it go like don't put the heat gun too close because you will bubble and cook the paint.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use a heat gun. And yeah, and if you do it for too long too, your paint will crack because it's drying too fast. The top layer, of course, will dry faster than the bottom layer. So you don't want to do it for too long or too close. See, I love the paint that stays in the cup too. One of my favorite parts. So I cut the cup open after I could peel the skin out. Sounds so bad when you say it that way though. Just peel off the skin. All right, I'm gonna do another one. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see here. I gotta mix some more paint. So this one I'm going to do, I'm going to add the silicone to,
Oh, so you're gonna do the cells
yeah, just to
to get
show
the
you.
cell.
It better work too. I haven't done cells in so long. So I have blue. There's nothing in there's water in the blue.
So Rika, if you're still here with us, when you do yours, you said you like to add resin. Do you add resin to the paint, or do you
No,
wait
no,
until
no.
after and then seal it with your resin?
No, you add the resin after. If you're going to do, you can do the same thing with resin. Just you pour your resin, make your mixture, and then divide it and add your mica or whatever to your resin and still pour that way. But you don't add resin to your paint. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like when you're doing, say when you're doing like you're doing your incense holders or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you can still do pouring the same way that we did it, but your base would be the resin itself and not the paint. So you can pour colors on top of each other, swirl, and then pour it out. Or do the same thing that you're doing now where you put all the colors down first. I guess it's considered then a resin pour. What was I doing? I need a cup and another canvas. So I'm going to check out the comments and take a few second break here.
This time I'm gonna add a little bit of glitter to the paint. See what happens.
She says you can add paint to the resin, yes, for a colorant, but you don't do it the other way around. So the way we're adding the water to the resin to thin it out, to the paint to thin it out, you don't add resin, but you can make your resin, your 2-part resin or whatever you're using, and add paint to it to color it. Because sometimes the resin will set quickly, and so you don't want to add it to the paint, but you can add paint to resin as a colorant. Oh, she says she adds resin to the paint. No, I don't do that. I've had maybe it's the resin I'm using. I do it the other way around as a colorant. So like maybe a drop of paint in my resin to get the color. but I don't add resin to the paint because it didn't flow the way I needed it to. It made it too thick. And also if you add too much paint to resin, it doesn't cure properly.
Yeah, it won't.
So you don't want
It,
that.
it'll never. It doesn't ever cure right. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what the heck I just created, but we're gonna flow with that.
Let me see. What colors are you using?
I did glitter in it this time with the white paint and the mica, but it's very. Oh, well, when you put it down, it looks different.
You can't. Yes, you can't look at it through the cup because the cup is I guess layered like that. When they spread it out,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
like,
like, this is not cute.
look at you. You're looking like a professional right now. The way you're pouring it out and ting. Like, what's going on?
Oh, okay, go ahead. My turn to be fancy again.
I'm liking the gold. I might steal your idea. So you're doing black, gold, and what?
Go back and forth as to who gets to be fancy. Okay,
Yeah.
Rika, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I trust you.
I don't know if I've used it. Apparently, I've used the silicone before because it's open. So I'm only going to put a few drops in it because I usually use either WD-40 or dish soap or glue. Like I'm a thrifty crafter because this
Yeah, me too.
silicone stuff was not cheap, and it's only 4 ounces or 120 milliliters. So this thing was not cheap. So I put a few drops in my blue. So I have to remember that I put silicone in the blue. Silicone's in the blue. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. Sorry if I'm off camera.
I'm really bummed that I cannot find my white acrylic paint. I didn't buy any because I knew I had some. I mean, I know I have some. I just don't know what I did with it.
Is it in the other craft room?
Well, all my other paints are in here, so I don't know why it would be in that room, but I mean,
Okay. So,
it probably fell and I picked it up and stuck it somewhere. Where?
so blue, I'll probably do gold. Oh, the gold
Okay,
is
so this one I'm doing red, black, and green,
okay.
and then I have that gold accent. So let me see what it do.
So I'm going to put silicone in the
Please don't
gold.
be ugly. Please don't be ugly. Oh, that's
That one.
that's thick as hell. It's
Did
not
you add
moving.
water to the paint?
I did. I think it's that damn glitter.
Oh, we had that conversation.
Yeah, that's okay because it's looking cool as hell.
And like I said, whatever you don't like, you can scrape off.
Well, I like that I followed your direction and covered it with the black first because if that shows out, on the sides or what have you, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I want
What
that
some
color
people
to
do too
show.
is they will also use a blow dryer to help blow the paint. You can use straws. There's many different tools around the house that you can use. So the blow dryer that has the part that looks like it's a flat duck bill.
Mm-hmm.
They use that to kind of blow the paint around to whatever direction they need it to go, especially on bigger canvases. So I have blue and gold have silicone in it. I'm going to do white and black, no silicone. So white and black will have water. Please don't fall. Are you leaning on that? Yeah, you are leaning on it.
Look at that.
That's stunning. Oh my goodness. Look at you. Look at you. The student has now become the master.
No, not quite. I'm not feeling as self-conscious as I was a minute ago, but definitely not master. But that's cute.
And it's fun. And it's one of a kind.
That's dope. This is actually cute enough to actually hang on somebody's wall.
There you go.
Now, I see glitter in it, but for some reason, I just want to sprinkle some more on top of it.
No, this dog wants me to pet her, and I almost did. Forget I had paint all over my hands.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, and it's not the black dog; it's the beige one. The black one I could have got away with it, not the beige one. Hey, Yoga, you would have been vexed. And I'm gonna mix my white, and then I'm gonna get to pouring, so you guys can.
I don't know if you guys can see the little shimmeries in there from the glitter.
Beautiful. Yes. Can you hold that other angle? Yeah. Well done. Look at you.
Thank you, Mama.
All right, let me grab one more cup.
I'm gonna move this one over to dry.
Two. Okay, so I'm going to add my paints. I'm going to do, so the black and white have only water, and the blue and gold have silicone, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to add the white in there. And I'm going to put some of the gold. This gold looking thick. Come on, Miss Gold. I don't think I put enough gold in the cup to begin with. A bit more gold. More silicone.
Now, this is definitely something that I could see myself doing with my daughters and my niece. Especially when the weather gets warmer, because then we can do it outside
Yep.
and just lay some tarp down and let them go for it.
It's one of the best crafts to do with kids because everybody's an artist at that point and nobody can do anything wrong. And everybody's art will be extremely unique. Oh, my blue has bubbles. I don't like bubbles in my paint. I want the gold to be the strongest color in my cup. Oh, way too much black. So I'm the white. And of course, I need more white. So does anybody have any questions? Can you see the comments?
Yeah, I can see.
Are there any comments, any questions?
Rita's been commenting on how she does hers, and she's going to post some samples of hers in the group.
Yay.
Other than that, pretty quiet. Seem like something you guys would do if you haven't done it already. It's pretty easy.
Yep.
I was more intimidated than what I needed to be after doing it. It's a fun, messy craft.
Yeah. And when you play around with other, you can paint pour through a funnel. Like I said, I like to use the Lazy Susan because that's a messy, messy one. Because when you spin that in, like I said, I use a very high edged or high wall rubber container, plastic container. Because when that Lazy Susan spins, but it's fun. It's so much fun. Oh gosh, everywhere. I did it once, like on a regular table like this, not thinking. So I like at first I did a little very like a slow spin, and then I got a little bit too happy and did a spin. I was
Holy
cleaning
crap.
up stuff.
I have paint all over my My sweatshirt.
It's acrylic paint. It should wash out.
Yeah. It's splashing everywhere.
Yeah. If it was oil paint, I'd be like, that t-shirt gone. But
Okay.
so there we go. I'm gonna pour the rest of my gold on here because I like to have predominantly gold. So the gold and the blue are what have silicone in it. Let me see if I get the rest of this out of here. Here we go. That cup is done. A little bit more blue. Come on, blue. You can do it. And
So just tilting this one and letting the paint drip onto that other canvas.
what was I going to do with this blue? Move the blue over here. Do I want a bit more black? No. I think the black is going to overpower. So move the black over here. All right, let's get to doing a little mix. Okay, so there's my colors. I have layers of black and white are only mixed with water. The blue and the gold are mixed with silicone. So I'm not mixing it. I'm just running my stick through it. So I'm going side to side and up and down. And then I'm going to get my canvas. And we'll see if we get some cells. I haven't done this in a while. Please forgive me if it don't work out. But basically, we know that oil and water don't mix. Oh, wait. Oh, mommy almost messed up. I'm going to put some white down. So let me just get some white on my canvas first. Sorry if I'm off camera. So I'm going to see you tomorrow posting 20 new pieces. Because it's so quick. The only major issue you might have is where you're going to put them to dry them.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave them right here on my craft table. So
Okay.
I took everything off so they can dry. So it's kind of hard to see because I have such a mess on the tablecloth, but these are the two small panels.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, wow.
And this is the other one.
Well done.
And this is the aftermath.
Sometimes the aftermath is the best part. Where are you going? Why aren't you sitting there? All right, I'm going to now pour my
So
mixture.
Rika says she's going to do a pouring for an abstract painting that she's doing of her granddaughter.
Oh, that's going to be pretty. Oh, I have cells starting already. Can you see them?
Yeah.
So that's basically where the paint that has oil and the paint that has water are coming in contact with each other. So this one I want to let go. Do you see my cells? Right here?
I think so. Yeah, I can see those.
See? It's because in here too.
Mm-hmm.
Because two of the paints had oil, which is the silicone, and the other paints had water. And so because water and oil do not mix, those paint colors are not going to mix together. You can see them forming more now. And then also to activate your cells even more, I would use a lighter, which I'll get in a second. And you just lightly run the heat of the lighter over it. But you can see my cells here. Because what happens is when you put a heat source over it, like a lighter, you're evaporating the water.
Oh, okay.
And so the oil itself, oh, look at all the cells. See them all here?
Yep.
So like I said, you can use WD-40. Oh, look at the cells down here. Oh my goodness. There's cells everywhere.
You said dish soap, WD-40, baby oil.
Very little baby oil, because what happens when you put too much of an oil compound in, once it dries, remember the water will dry, but the oil doesn't air dry, right? So we
Right.
get these things called fish eyes, where some of the paint will be indented and you'll have a pool of oil. So you'll have to use a tissue paper or a sponge or whatever and sop it up. It is still a cool effect, but it's also a headache. So you don't want to use too much baby oil. Silicone is more forgiving in that regards. But yeah, you can use baby oil. Glue sometimes, depending on the glue. So there you go. See all the cells?
Beautiful. I like that. This gives kind of like an ocean.
Yep. But you can see where the paint with water and the paint with silicone will not ever mix.
I like that.
So let me go grab the lighter and see if I can activate the cells even more. Give me a second. But yeah, and it's going to still change. This will continue to change, whereas the other one won't so much, because
It'll
it's going
change
to,
as it's drying.
yeah, very slowly, very minutely. Like if I was to take a picture now and take a picture after, you'll see there's slight changes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1 second, Nate. I'll take you off the bed. Let me work.
I did it, y'all. I followed directions and I did it. And I have 4 pieces. I'm very excited. Very excited. If you guys haven't joined already, go ahead and join our Facebook group, Black Girls Crafting Network. We're here Fridays, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every Friday, we're going to do some type of quick craft and just talk and chat and craft our little hearts out for about an hour, hour and a half, and then we'll see you again next Friday.
Okay, so I'm going to do this and hopefully not burn my phone or anything. I don't know. Did it activate? I don't think I have enough silicone to do it. No, and I don't want to plug in the heat gun. Although I do like the cells the way they are.
I
They're so
like it.
pretty. Look, if I go closer, they're still activating.
So it'll continue to do that as it dries.
This not so much now because it's not such a big canvas, and I
Mhm.
do have it. My table's not balanced, so it might move just because the table's not balanced. But I don't see them moving anymore. It's pretty, pretty. Oh, I'm gonna. No, I gotta go to bed. I'm not staying up to do this. But yeah, I like this one a lot. This is my favorite one.
Yeah, that one is dope.
Yeah.
Like I said, it reminds me of like an ocean vibe, beach vibe.
Yeah.
The
And
beach.
I use just blue and gold and black and white. So
So for the first 2 that I did, I used 4 colors, and then for the last little 2 small ones, I just used 3 colors. So you can see the difference, but I like them all. And then on the first 2, I went and sprinkled a little bit of glitter on it. I left these alone. If I was going to do glitter on these, it wouldn't be gold. I think it'd probably be like silver.
I'll bring you guys over here too. So these ones have the exact same colors: black, white, red, yellow, and blue. And I got 2 completely different outcomes because I did 2 completely different techniques. This one I just poured directly on the canvas, and this one I poured in the cup and then poured it onto the canvas. So the exact same colors, 2 different techniques, and I got 2 different outcomes. This one was just black, white, gold, and blue. And in the gold and blue, I put silicone, which was, for those of you who didn't see it, I don't want to get my hands in the paint, acrylic Demco silicone oil for acrylic paint pouring. But like I said, you can even just use, the oil that they use for lubricating gym equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So silicone like that, that's what I was originally using because we had an old,
Could you use glycerin?
no,
No? Okay.
glycerin is water based.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So no, you want oil base.
Okay.
So, but even like for some reason the Dawn soap works. I haven't tried any other brand. I just use the Dawn soap. What else is there? And the Dawn soap, I would put in the paint without putting water. What else? I've used white glue. I can't remember. I've used a bunch of different stuff just to try them out. Even clear glue, just glue in general, because there's a compound in the glue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is with the oil. So anything, even oil for like your bicycle chain, but you want an oil that's clear because if your oil has that yellow tinge, it's going to add color to whatever you're doing, right? So it has to be a clear oil. Oh,
Yeah.
even you can even put like a drop or two of vegetable oil.
Hi,
It's
Danae.
oil. It's oil, but just not too much because, like I said, once the paint itself dries, you'll get these things called fish eyes, and basically you'll get cells like this, like the cell here, but it'll be indented, and you'll have a small pool of oil that you're gonna have to dab after the rest of the painting is dry. So just a little drop of any oil will do you. Oh, see, these ones over here did change a bit. The ones here.
I'm gonna switch to my other camera, sis. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to. Let me just get the mess out of the way. Oh, messy, messy. Maybe we can read the comment as well and let everything dry. I need some water. So what do you think about the craft? Let me take my. Please don't let me drop the phone and paint. This will be one video you won't be able to save with all the cussing I be doing. There we go.
I
So
feel you.
there's one. There's the
That's
second
pretty.
one.
Oh, that's pretty.
And that's the other one. So 3 paintings tonight. Let me
Oh,
figure.
your ring light be lighting, baby.
Well, I just have her tucked in the corner here. She's not standing up.
That thing is working.
Let me get the camera. Hello. Let me get comfortable. Grab my water. Excuse the aerial view.
Trying to get some of this paint off of my hands
Oh, I just
before
wait.
I start touching everything.
Where's my
I'm
stand?
glad that I cooked dinner before.
Well, the bonus of
Like,
acrylic
why
paint
is
is.
there glitter in my food? See, what
Oh,
had
it's true.
happened
Yeah,
was,
you use glitter and stuff. I didn't.
that stuff gets it's all underneath my fingernails and everywhere else. So I just wait. I get my little. I have, the little nail brush that I use after I come out here because most of the time it's glue.
Yes. Well, my
And I got
nails.
that stuff and it gets everywhere.
This is me for now. I will wash my hands again. I washed my hands twice since I've been on with you. You just don't hear it. No, I just wait. I'll probably forget. I'll probably eat a dumpling or something and then look at my finger like, oh my gosh, what did I put in my mouth? But yeah, it's fun. I enjoy doing the acrylic paint pouring because you can get lost in doing it. I
That's
think
true.
like I did with my son and he ended up doing like 5 or 6 in one evening. We couldn't stop.
Yeah, I
So
think that my niece will really enjoy this. She's 5 and she likes doing this type of stuff. My daughter's probably not so much because they're butts. They don't want to do stuff with mom anymore. Oh, so I have to tell you this. This was funny. So my daughter tells me this morning when we're on the way for me to drop her off at school. She goes, last Friday they had their 8th grade dance. I don't know if I told you that.
yes, because she had her hair and makeup done.
Right, exactly. So after the dance, her her besties came over and they were in there playing video games and stuff. And I have my door closed and I have a sign on the door that says, if the door is closed, don't knock, don't yell out for me, don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm recording, don't call out my name, don't shake the door handle, because they do stuff like that. So her and her friends hopped on our live last week. And she goes, Mom, me and my friends were watching your live. She said, I even made a comment. And she says, I had to try and think of how would a old middle-aged woman comment. So she says that she goes, she goes, ooh, that craft is so cute. Well, I gotta go to bed now. Praying hand emojis.
In our live last Friday?
Yes.
Why did she have to throw in that word old with middle age? Just say middle age.
Middle-aged women, and she had to figure out what emojis we would use. So she used the praying hand.
Okay, but you know what? But where's the lie?
I know, that's why I'm like, I can't stand you.
I can't be mad. Like, where's the lie? She nailed that. She was on point with that
I
one.
told my friend about that, and she was like, well, you can't even ask her where she got it from. Look who her mama is. I was like, yeah, I know.
No, she was on point with. I can't be mad at her for that. That was on point because I use that emoji all the time. All the time.
She was clowning and trying to be supportive at the same time. So I didn't know how to take it. I'm like, I appreciate you hopping on the live and commenting, but for real, girl.
I will own up to the middle age part, but oh,
the praying hand emojis, though, she killed me with that one. I was like,
yeah,
you're just too much, child. Definitely is my daughter.
Yeah, and she was on point with that. I give her brownie points.
I said, this girl, she had me be a snitch yesterday and telling one of the little kids at school. Okay. She's something else. That truly is my
Your
twin
child.
right there.
Yeah,
that is my twin right there. So my husband, he always says, "Are you surprised, Genoa?" No, I'm not. I'm really not, because that is so me. That would have been me.
But then, like, when my son does a similar when my son does something similar to what I would do, I'm like, I can't be angry, but I shouldn't be proud about it either. But I am kind of proud.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Mixed emotion.
She's something else though. But this girl, she's something else. This is the child. For years she thought that her dad was born in Pennsylvania, that's where pencils came from. Oh, my child. Don't tell nobody else that.
It's documented now.
That must be where pencils come from. I'm like, oh my God.
We're not at the afterlife part. We're still on the live part. So now it's documented. That is funny.
This whole thing.
That was funny. So
I'm to the point where I can touch things now. I still need to wash and get all in those nail beds, but I can at least touch my mouse and stuff and not have fear that I'm going to have paint.
Well, Melody Wells says, so much fun. I've been watching and just now figured out how to comment. Better late than never.
That's Noonie.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Hey, Melody. I never know if you want to go by Melody or Noonie, because I don't ever call you Melody.
And Rika said that she's done that before, had paint all over her phone.
Oh, dropped her phone in the paint?
Well, it wouldn't be so bad because my phone has a case, but if that paint got into like the camera or the speaker part, I wouldn't be too thrilled. But if it got into the case, just take off the case, throw it in the sink, and that's fine. But yeah, it's fun. I enjoyed doing it. Thank you so much for having me on again today.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for joining me. I know it's been a hectic week. Um, your grandson would love this, Noonie. He could get in there and get dirty and create something for you, and you can hang it up, and it'll actually look nice. I think Cairo will really love it. I know Jaden will love it. I can't wait to uh, to do something with her. I have that pack of panels that I had. It was 5 packs, so a 5 pack. I used one, so I have 4 more, and then I have one more small, and then I have my wooden circle still and my heart still. So I have some things that she can play around with, make something for her grandma, for her mom, and
But you know the runoff that you have on your plastic? You know the paint that landed on your plastic on the table?
mm-hmm.
You can swirl one of your stirring sticks in it, make swirls with it, and take your white cardstock and press it, and let that dry, and you have backdrops. You have mats for cards.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
So nothing goes to waste in that regard. Like when I paint, if I'm just doing it like on a flat surface with just the plastic tablecloth, is because purposely I do want the runoff. Or sometimes when I'm doing one canvas, I'll have another canvas lower down. So whatever runs off the first canvas will go on to the second one. And I'll just keep on doing
I
that.
kind of figured that out on the last one. So when I was, moving it around, I was holding it over the other canvas so that whatever fell off would fell in. And so, she said she's done paint pouring with her niece and nephew, and they loved it. Yeah, it takes me back what my mom used to do for me and my sister on nice sunny days. Like back in the day, they would have these paper rolls.
Yes, and you roll it out, you lay on it,
And
you trace each
roll
other
it out, right? And then they would have the finger paints. And we'd get out there in the driveway and just go crazy making all these finger paint stuff on all this, paper, whatever. And I used to think that was so much fun. And I remember that as a kid, my mom, I loved when she did stuff like that with us. So yeah, my niece will definitely have a fun time with that. She likes getting messy and trying new things. So Kaylin, not so much. She don't like she don't like stuff on her hands. So she's like, she's one of the people, even when she eats, she's constantly like,
she can still do this crap and put on gloves. I used to do this for birthday parties. I would go to a birthday party and animate and just bring my paints and stuff. And I have some kids who have autism and they have trouble with tactile stuff. Like they didn't like the mushiness of the paint. I put gloves on them and they went ham on it.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Rika. We'll see. I'm gonna definitely see if she will.
Yeah, Rika, that's what I do too. When I do my pouring, if I do them in the plastic container, I purposely will keep the runoff, the skins, and then I take them off and I cut the sizes that I want, put them in a folder, a binder. And then if I have my bevels or whatever, I will make my earrings from them or my pendants. Nothing goes to waste when you're doing this stuff. It's so much fun.
And the fact that you can get the supplies fairly inexpensively out here. Like you say, you guys have your Dollarama in Canada. Out here, it's mainly like our Dollar Tree. You can get canvases, you can get paints, the stir sticks, the little cups that you use, the trays that you use. I got my tablecloth from there that I spread out over my work table. You can get glitter, sequins,
Everything.
Something that I thought of, I could not find the hammered glass at my Dollar Tree. They didn't have it. And so I was on my way to Michael's and I was going to pick up some from there. And I was like, meh. So I made and blessed some bath salts earlier today. So
I saw that. Yes, I saw the post.
My business actually started with me making soaps and bath salts and scrubs and jewelry. That's how I started. And then I slowly moved into paper crafting and other things. And the soaps and stuff I stopped doing unless it was like a request for someone. Like a lot of people like personalized favors for their parties and, you know, to give gifts or what have you. But I thought of, and I'm not going to touch it because my hands are still not. I'm just going to pour just a little bit because Epsom salt.
In the painting,
Yes.
what happens when the water hits the salt?
Well, I would color. So you can color it, right? And
Yeah,
then you
but
would
the
sprinkle. I
but
would
the
sprinkle
paint,
this on top. I wouldn't do this in the paint.
so you wait till the paint is dry.
And then you could put like your resin and
I would do a
sprinkle
small
the.
tester of it first because when salt gets wet, it dissolves.
The small ones will, but the big ones won't all dissolve. Maybe the bottoms will, but the tops would still be.
Okay.
Because I saw someone do Epsom salt in an epoxy craft before, and it looked really neat. So
Yeah,
he
I would
took
wait till
the thick, chunky salt, either
yeah,
like rock salt or just a bigger, more coarse salt,
yeah.
and colored it, and then just sprinkled that like not when it was like wet, but towards the end, just so that it would not fall off.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because if you're
Yeah.
adding water to your paint and then you're going to add the salt, naturally all the extra water, because you already have water in the acrylic paint, but by adding extra water to thin it out, that water, of course, will dissolve the salt, I mean. But if your painting is dry, and say, for example, wherever you're going to put the salt, you put just a very thin layer of Mod Podge.
Adhesive, yeah.
Yeah, Mod Podge would be fine, and you put the salt on top of the Mod Podge. I don't see you having an issue.
So that could help to maybe create that geode effect if you can't find hammered glass or you don't make your own glass or what have you. Glitter is another way that I've seen people do it.
Yeah. Because what I'm going to do is I want to make a nice a mural part, like 3 pieces. So I guess there'd be like I think it's 11 by 16, but there'll be 3 panels. I'll put them together on the table and I will put the paint, and then once that's dried, I will do a layer of resin, and I'll want to put the crushed glass on all 3 pieces. So that way when I separate them, it still looks like it's one painting, but it'll be 3 separate panels. I want to do that. I want to do that for downstairs. There's other stuff I want to do too. Like I want to put feathers and resin and put that on my painting. There's a bunch of different things I want to do because I do the mixed media. So, but I don't like to use the store-bought feathers. I like to go into the park or whatever and get some seagull feathers or whether feathers I can find out in the wild. Same thing with the wildflowers. I like to pick my own and dry them. So I'll be very busy this spring. You're so
That's why I tell them, don't pick up them feathers. They got bird flu. Leave them alone.
That bird flu will be sealed in resin.
So,
but yeah, there's just so many things. Also, those beading things that when you put them in the water, they go like 300 times their size.
The Orbeez?
Yes, I want to see what happens if I put Orbeez in a painting. Like how long will they stay big? Like will they eventually get small again?
So I bought this whole pack of dried flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I use for my bath salts, but I could see putting these on a painting too.
There's just so many different things. I like to save well, not now, like when it gets warmer, I like to save my eggshells and then I crush them and I leave them outside in the sun to dry. And I will put like a layer of paint, like white paint or whatever, and put the eggshells on that, let that dry, and then I will spackle paint on the eggshells. So that way you get the cracks from the eggshell, but you also get the 3D dimension because of the eggshells. So I want to do that on the canvas too, but then do pouring on it.
What dissolves and gets slimy, Rika?
I think the Orbeez.
Oh.
I just want to experiment. Like Orbeez and resin, the Orbeez and resin won't get small again. They'll stay the same size forever in the resin.
You'll have to make them big before you put them in there, right?
Yeah. I'll make them as big as I possibly can because there's different types of Orbeez, right? So some of them are very translucent. So I would love to put that in resin to get almost like a bubbled effect.
Aren't those basically like the same things when have you seen those air fresheners that have the little gel balls?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the reason why those stay big is because of liquid from the air freshening stuff.
Right. But
yeah,
towards the end they dry out and they start getting a little deeper.
So it's basically the same thing. You can make your own air freshening stuff by doing the same thing, by buying the little Orbeez, making your concoction, putting them in the jar, throwing the Orbeez in there. It's the same thing.
Right.
So, but yeah, I want to start experimenting this summer. But the eggshell one, I want to wait till it gets warmer outside. I can just leave the eggshells outside. So, and I want to pour the paint on that because I know that some of the paint will go in between the cracks of the eggshell and some of it will sit on top of it. Excuse me, brother. Just give me 1 second.
So I have little thing that has like these jewels and stuff too. Like these gold studs. Sea beads. That's a possibility too, right?
Yep.
Sea beads.
Oh, sea beads would be nice in a painting. The sea beads would be nice in a painting if you're doing like an African themed painting and you put sea beads on it.
Yep. Yeah.
There's just so many things.
The ones that we did tonight, about how long does it take for them to dry? Because I'm very impatient. So how long before I can come in here and start touching on them?
Well, my first
Are you giving me the full 24 hours or?
It depends on how the temperature of your room in general. Like my first two are, well, my first one I think is maybe 3/4 dry. My second one's halfway dry, and my last one is going to take a bit longer because of the silicone. But they'll be dry in a couple of hours. It's not like you did super huge projects. I don't know about your African continent one because it's wood.
These are both looking really juicy, so it'll probably be.
Oh, it's also your paint was a bit thicker.
Yeah, it was thick, and then also it is freezing here in California right now. We're having a really, really bad rainstorm, so it's thunder and lightning and raining, and it's cold. I'm in here freezing right now. Usually I bring the space heater and put it under the desk, but yeah, I don't have it in here right now, so my little feetses are freezing.
But you got toasticles.
I don't like telling you that because what we consider cold and what you consider cold is two different things.
I won't take it away from you. You can have your cold.
Yeah, I would die. I would die in Quebec. I would die because I'm barely surviving in California, and we have some of the best weather in the country.
Well, we're -3 Celsius. I don't know what that is for you guys in Fahrenheit, but we're -3 currently.
It sounds cold, whatever it is. It sounds really, really cold. Really extremely cold.
No, whatever it is, it sounds
cold. Right now, it is 53 degrees Fahrenheit. And
I don't know what that is.
Actually, it's 50 degrees. As soon as I said that, it changed. 50 degrees. So I don't know.
Rika said that her grandkids use something similar for those guns, like paintballs, that mess and dissolved and slimed up in her carpet. Ew. And they smell, paintballs smell after. Because my son's other grandmother, paternal grandmother, worked at a company that makes paintballs here in Montreal, and she used to give us a bunch. So when he was younger, when he was a toddler, I would lay out paper on the table, and we would take the paintballs and put pinholes in them, and you can squeeze them on the paper. But then afterwards, what happened is that the paint dries and the oil stays. Did you abandon me, Genoa? Technical difficulties? Let's see here. We're having technical difficulties on one end. Where'd she go? But no, I agree. The paintballs are nasty. Sorry if I'm looking over, it's because my laptop's up here. Let me put this over here so I can see you guys and your comments better. There we go. I think she's having technical difficulties, but she shall return. So for those of you watching the replay, please comment as to whether or not you've done any paint pouring previously. We'll probably do this again, maybe just do different techniques and do them on different materials. Because I know you can paint pour on glass, ceramic. So actually we can do something similar to a paint pour or paint dip with mugs. There's a bunch of things that we can do. So in the comments, when you're watching the replay, just let us know what it is that you would like for us to do. And also, as we ask every week, is there an earlier time or is our current time good for you? So we do 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we do, which is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're always looking for comments in regards to whether or not it's too late for you guys or if the time is good. And also, we're always looking for suggestions in regards to what kind of crafts we can do. And also looking for people who want to come on and show us a craft. You're back.
Hello. I don't know what happened. My whole internet just.
She must be gaming hard.
And now I can't hear you.
You hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay. So while you were gone, I just mentioned that people watching the replay, just let us know if they've done acrylic paint pouring. Also, let us know if they want us to do something similar to this again, because there's so many different techniques. Also, we're looking to know whether or not this is a perfect time for people, if they want us to come on earlier. And we're also looking for people to come on and craft with us or to teach us a new craft as well.
Exactly. So this is open space. It doesn't have to be this time. It doesn't have to be this day. Whatever works for you guys, I'm open. I have an open schedule. Tara does a lot. She has a lot of stuff that she's in, but she's like a master crafter here. So we have to take advantage of when we can grab her and have her on our page. But if anybody out there,
I just like to try all the things.
Me too. The problem is there's a lot of money.
No, but you can still try certain stuff with the stuff you currently have. Like we have so much stock. We have like, I'm sure with all the paper that we have not touched all the paper crafts.
Not at all. Not in the least bit. There's so much more. So yeah, crafting our stash is going to be the big thing for 2023. And I say that after I just spent like about $100 on unnecessary craft stuff. But you know, we're not. You don't do what I do. Do what I say, not what I do. Right? We already established this couple weeks. I have a problem. I'm gonna get help for that. No, but definitely need to start shopping my stash. I have 2 rooms full of stuff, and I know that a lot of us are in the same position. We have stuff coming out of every free space in our home. Some of us have taken over our dining rooms, living rooms, and everything.
I have 2 storage units. I have 2 storage units of craft supplies that have to be used.
Right. And my partner Toya, she has a room in her home, her whole garage, and a storage unit as well. So it gets to be a lot, when you about that craft life. But yeah, definitely just mirror what she said, that if you have a craft that you want to teach, or if you want to come on and craft with us, we're open to different times and days, and definitely an open platform here on my channel. Yep. Take advantage, guys. I am on my way to 11K. Woo woo. So hopefully I can have some of you guys come on and take advantage of that platform while we grow your channels as well. While we're saying that, make sure you follow in Tara Precious Delights Canada here on YouTube and Instagram and Etsy and just everywhere. Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest. Everywhere.
So we have to think about what we're doing next week. So that'll be a chat we'll have tomorrow or later on. And
yeah, so Noonie, I saw Noonie in here. I saw Danae in here. I see Chatrice in here. I see Rika in here. Ladies, if we could come together in our group chat and just bounce around some ideas for what we can do in terms of the thing and Convos live sessions that we have. So far we've done mostly paper crafts. We did sublimation on wood and on glass, and then today paint pouring. So we're open to anything. Let's talk. The elbow cough. Yeah, so let's talk in our group chat and discuss, maybe some ideas of what we can do on the upcoming Friday nights.
Yeah.
And I will talk to you, of course, in more depth and see what ideas we can come up with for the next one.
Yep. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, as always, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on with me tonight. I had fun. I learned something new. I did something new. I'm proud of myself. I'm going to leave out of here so that I'm not tempted to touch. Because
leave it alone.
Yeah, because I'm not good at that. I'm very impatient with that. So I'm just gonna go out of here completely, or I will start meddling and messing stuff up. So thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next Friday at 7 Pacific Standard Time, unless we decide on going earlier. So until next Friday, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys. Bye.
Bye.